Let me ask you guys a question. Have you ever met somebody that was just completely unprepared for something? That they knew that day was coming and they just weren't prepared. They didn't put the work in. They didn't put the effort in. And suddenly test day comes, that competition comes, that period of time in your life comes that you should be ready for this and you're just completely unprepared. You ever met that person? Maybe it's somebody who's 35, 40 years old and still wants to buy their first house, but still doesn't have the capability of buying it because they haven't saved enough money for the down payment. Their credit isn't good enough because they just have not been responsible with their credit cards. Right? This happens all the time. Well, there's a proverb that speaks to this. It's in Proverbs 24. I want to show this to you because I think it's incredibly instructive for all of us in life because it's true on so many different levels. Here's how the proverb goes. I went by the field of a slacker. I want you to make a note of that, a slacker. A slacker is somebody who's lazy. It's somebody who just doesn't take any initiative in life. And by the vineyard of one lacking sense. See, those two words are connected to each other. The slacker is the one who lacks sense. Because see, the slacker knows what's coming. He dreams, he hopes, he wishes. He knows what's coming. He knows someday he wants to buy a house. He knows someday retirement's coming and he needs to have enough money put away. He knows that someday it's going to be harder for him to take care of his health. So he ought to start doing it while he's younger. He knows that to have a great relationship with somebody, you've got to put the daily work of sacrifice and you have to be humble and you've got to work hard to make it work. See, he knows those things. The problem is, he lacks sense. Why is that? Look, thistles had come up everywhere. Weeds covered the ground. See, you look at the terrain of his vineyard and weeds and thistles are choking out all the life from his vineyard. He's not doing anything to take care of it. Not only that, but look at this. The stone wall was ruined. How long do you have to ignore something, a wall, for it to suddenly be ruined? See, your stone wall, you had to have a good wall back then. That wall is what protected your vineyard from animals coming in and tearing up your vineyard and your crops and the things that you had that were there, from tearing up whether it was the grapes or whatever it is that you were planting. See, and suddenly the stone wall is broken down. It was never taken care of. And he says, I took it to heart, I looked and received instruction. Now, this is very important. I saw, took it to heart, I looked. In other words, this proverb is telling us, look at the people around you. The object lessons are everywhere for you to see how not to do life. There's so many people who have regrets right now. There's so many people who had thorns and thistles coming up in their vineyard, whose walls have broken down. And it doesn't take very long to look around and see people who have not prepared effectively for their lives. And today they regret, and they're paying a heavy price because they didn't do the work they needed to do to make sure that that vineyard was protected and cultivated. We are meant to see and to take it to heart and look at the lives of others and then receive the instruction that comes from that. And here it is. You ready? A little sleep, a little slumber, a little folding of the arms to rest. This is that person who just doesn't want to get up. They don't want to move. They just want to stay in bed. They just want to stay on that couch. They just want to stay in that recliner and just, so tired. I don't want to do it. I don't want to get up. I don't want to read. I don't want to work. I don't want to work out. It's this person that just is driven by their own bodily desires. They don't ever rise above what they feel. A little sleep, a little slumber, a little folding of the arms to rest. And your, ready, poverty will come like a robber and your need like a bandit. In other words, you will at some point look at your life and it will be as if someone came and stole things from your life that you should have. And here's the irony. The irony is we are the robber. We are the bandit that have stolen all the possibilities that we could have had because we were so concerned about sleep, about rest, about not doing the work that needed to be done. And this proverb says that is a person who lacks sense. That is the slacker. Look, you want that great relationship? You want that financial security? You want that great job? You want that great job promotion? You want to live a good, quality, healthy life to the best of your ability? Then we've got to do the work. We've got to let every day count. And sometimes we need some ancient wisdom that's going to instruct us. It's going to encourage us. It's going to challenge us to every day do the work. And if you do the work, you're going to have every opportunity to achieve the things you long for. And your walls will be built up and you will protect the things that matter the most to you. So let's take this instruction, let's challenge ourselves, and let's make sure we're cultivating the vineyards of our lives so that we don't look back with great regret.